All right, let's talk about the single most destructive behavior a trader can engage in. Seriously, it's not a bad strategy or some surprise market crash that blows up most accounts. It's a psychological trap. We're talking about revenge trading. Take a good look at this number, 90%. You know what that is? It's a graveyard of trading accounts. It is a massive, staggering figure, and believe me, it is not random. It's a huge warning sign. Understanding what connects all of these failures is absolutely key to making sure your account isn't the next one. So, what is it? What's the common thread? Well, in the world of prop firms, 9 out of 10 accounts that just catastrophically blow up, it's not because of some complex algorithm or a wild market event. Nope, it's caused by a single, predictable, and just utterly devastating human behavior. And that brings us to the villain of our story. This behavior, this impulse, is what turns a small, totally manageable loss into a career-ending disaster. It's this emotional spiral that traders know they should avoid, but they fall for it time and time again. So let's be perfectly clear about what we're dealing with here. Revenge trading isn't a strategy. It's not a plan. It's a raw, emotional reflex. You know that feeling, right? That gut punch after a loss, where your ego just screams at you that you have to get that money back right now. In that moment, all your logic, all your rules, your entire discipline, it gets thrown right out the window. All because of this primal need to just erase the mistake. So to fight this thing, we have to understand why it even happens. And the answer isn't in a trading book. It's literally hardwired into our biology. This isn't a character flaw, it's a human one. The real explanation is in our neuroscience. This is where our ancient caveman brain wiring gets it totally wrong in the modern world. A financial loss, which is just a red number on a screen, it doesn't register as a simple business expense. Oh no. To your brain, it feels like a predator is lunging at you from the shadows. That loss triggers the exact same primal fear circuits that were designed to keep our ancestors alive. And this freakout has a name. It's a well-documented neurological event called an amygdala hijack. Think of the amygdala as your brain's alarm system, or its panic button. When it thinks there's a threat, it floods your system with stress hormones and takes complete control, shoving aside the part of your brain that's in charge of logic, planning, and rational thought. So here's how the chain reaction goes down. First, the loss feels like a physical threat. Second, the amygdala sounds the alarm. Third, cortisol, the stress hormone, just floods your system, totally impairing your judgment. And here's the most critical part. Your logic center, the part that knows your trading rules, is effectively shut down. You are now making financial decisions in the same mental state as you'd use to fight off a bear. Not good. So what happens when your logical brain goes completely offline in the middle of a trading day? It's absolute chaos. That biological survival response translates directly into financial self-destruction. And let me be clear, this is not a hypothetical question. This is the real-world consequence. When your amygdala is driving the bus, you stop seeing the market clearly. You just start throwing oversized, random trades out there. You're not trading your plan anymore. You're just desperately trying to shut off that internal alarm. And in doing so, you turn a manageable loss into an account-ending catastrophe with terrifying speed. And this is what it looks like. This equity curve is basically the financial signature of an amygdala hijack. You see that initial, normal loss? That small dip. Annoying, but totally fine. But what comes next? That is not trading. It's a panicked, emotional freefall. That vertical drop is the revenge spiral, where all the rules are abandoned and the account is just systematically destroyed in a matter of minutes. Okay, so we've seen the problem, we know the cause, and we've seen the devastating consequences. So how do we stop it? The solution is brutally simple, but it is absolutely non-negotiable. There is only one way out. This is probably the most important rule of all. You need to burn this into your mind. When you are in that emotional state, your decision-making is compromised. It's gone. Every single trade you place is statistically likely to just make the situation worse. Trying to win it back is like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. It can't be done. And that's why you need a pre-commitment rule. It's a circuit breaker. You have to decide what you will do before you're in that compromised state. Take this example. After 2 losses in a row, your only action isn't to analyze the market or find another trade. No, it's to physically disengage. Close the laptop, walk away. Give your rational brain time to come back online. It really is that simple. The only winning move in the game of revenge trading is not to play. You have to remove yourself from the environment that's triggering this emotional response. You can't outthink an amygdala hijack. You can only walk away and let that neurochemical storm pass. So that pre-commitment rule is your emergency eject button. But the long-term goal, well, that's to build the psychological armor of a professional. So you find yourself needing that button less and less often. And this chart right here lays out the fundamental difference. The emotional trader, they're seeking validation. Their ego is tied to the outcome of every single trade, so a loss feels like a personal failure. The professional, on the other hand, they're just seeking correct execution of their plan. They're not focused on one trade. They're thinking about how their edge plays out over a long series of trades. For them, a loss is just a data point. It's a business expense. The process is everything. Which really leads to a final question you have to ask yourself. The market is always going to be volatile. That's a given. But as we've just seen, the most catastrophic losses, they rarely come from what the market does. They come from our own reactions. So mastering the market really begins with mastering your own mind. The real battle isn't on the charts, it's right between your ears.